So you started learning Japanese and now everybody thinks you're like this weird whip. And I mean, yeah, you kinda are, but it's not like to the level where you prefer 2D women to real girls. But I've been looking for a way to make learning Japanese less weird for quite some time now because I realized that whenever you actually study Japanese, right, using the proper methods, which is not really studying in class, but with the materials that you have right now, you're just sitting in your room, watching anime, watching Japanese YouTube videos, learning kanji, doing your anki, shadowing, doing stuff like that. Yeah, these things are productive when it comes to reaching your overall goal, which is learning Japanese, going to Japan, making Japanese friends and stuff like that. But right now, if we just like took the top of your house, right? Like took it off and we looked at you like the bird's eye kind of view, it's just you sitting in front of your PC screen watching Chinese cartoons. So, what kind of productivity really is it? Of course, you learn a lot, you learn quite a lot through immersion, you learn quite a lot doing your Anki and watching real Japanese native content. But it's like it stimulates you, it like bumps up your dopamine levels because you're watching stimulating content. And it's just fucking content consumption, right? You're not really creating anything. So the ideal scenario would be to actually go travel to Japan, move, live there, make friends and stuff like that. But right now, if you're watching this video, if it isn't possible for you, if it is, definitely go and do it, right? You can go take a working holiday in Japan, live there for a year, like how I plan to do. You can just work, speak to Japanese people all day, travel a little bit, and make some more money doing some like baito, some part-time job. But if you cannot currently move to Japan, live there for a long time to learn Japanese, naturally speaking to people, leveling up your social skills, maybe learning game like raising up girls, or like talking to people, networking, you cannot really do it right here, but there is a couple of things that you can do. その前にな、将来の動画を見逃さないようにチャンネル登録してくださいね。ほんで、もし日本語をほんまに学びたいんやったら、ぜひ概要欄のリンクをチェックしてね。俺が本気であんたをペラペラさせようとする日本語 IQ ってコースやねん。ほんなら早速始めていきましょう。So the first thing that you can kind of do, which doesn't make you like a complete loser learning Japanese, is to actually use the time that you spent immersed in watching content to learn something that will help you in real life, right? So two birds, one stone type shit. So this first kind of idea is something that you should kind of keep in mind every single time you study Japanese. Of course, there will still be time when you just enjoy watching your favorite anime or watching your favorite YouTuber, where you don't really kind of maximize your productivity. You're still a little bit of a loser, but fair enough, you learn in Japanese. Sometimes it is okay to just watch content, right? The second thing, which is not really popular in this immersion learning community, but I believe it to be quite a better option compared to the other type of methods that you can use, which is to actually give italki or real life classes a try. Maybe not really use them to learn grammar, but what I do is, okay, like I want to learn this specific dialect of Japanese, which is Kansai-ben. So what I did was I went on italki and I looked for a teacher which is actually from Osaka or from the Kansai region. So he speaks the exact dialect that I want to speak myself. And yeah, fair enough, I'm spending money on these classes, but I'm talking to a real human being. Even though it is through the screen, it's still some sort of a connection. It actually led up to him kind of offering me a place to really stay at if I were to travel to Japan to stay near the Kansai region. He actually offered me to stay a few nights, maybe meet his family even, just because I'm learning the dialect that he's learning. And I'm not like locking myself up in my room, just studying by myself, only inputting all day long. Of course, at the beginning of your Japanese study, you should still input quite a lot. It's very crucial. It's important. But at some point, like speaking isn't like gonna damage your Japanese that much. So maybe a few months in, when you've already kind of got the grasp of grammar, you've already got the grasp of the communication, of the pronunciation. You don't make like that many pitch arts and mistakes. Maybe giving a italki class a try is actually not that bad of an option. And so the tactic number 3, which is still pretty obvious, but it is just to really leverage passive immersion to maximum, right? So whenever you do active immersion, on the other hand, you need to be in front of the screen. It kind of influences all of your senses. The sight, kind of, you see the animated on the screen, you see the transitions, the editing of a YouTube video, so it is stimulating for you. But whenever you're listening to a podcast or just listening to audio from an anime, it's not that stimulating. It doesn't destroy your dopamine levels, but you still learn quite a fair bit. And of course, you won't see the subtitles, you won't see anything like that, but you can incorporate that by just doing Anki or by doing a little bit of reading. But really, just think of how many kind of productive, healthy things you can actually do while passively immersing in Japanese. Bro, you can go to the gym. You can stay in the gym for like not 1 hour, 2, 3 hours every single day. Maybe not all of it being weightlifting, but playing some basketball, doing some stretching, stuff which is healthy, which kind of builds your body. You can do all that shit while still improving your Japanese through passive listening. So gym is one thing, but you can do your morning sunlight. You can go outside, just enjoy, look at the sky, look at the stars. If it's night, if it's not the early morning, and just enjoy outside. Go, bro, go for long walks. What stops you from going on a 2 hour hike, seeing like a random place that you've never seen around your city, around your like the kind of the area, your neighborhood where you live? There's probably like a place that you've never been to, like 20 minutes away from your home, where you could just go, enjoy, explore real life, the real world, while still listening to Japanese and learning quite a fair bit. You can do shadowing, which I do quite often. I go on long walks, maybe going in the fields, and just listen to Japanese, listen to Kansai Ben podcast, and practice my pronunciation, which is quite literally one of the best things that you can do to really show for your Japanese when you actually go to Japan, not make your to not make the kind of compliment that Japanese people give you of your pronunciation, of it being just, oh, like your pronunciation, Hatsuon umai desu ne, which just really means that you sound intelligible, that they understand what you're saying. It's not really that you sound like a Nihonjin. So passive immersion is kind of being shit on in this immersion based community because most of the comprehensible input has to do with the visual. But if you don't want to be like this complete loser staying at home all day, bro, just passive immerse to the moon, like do it whenever you can, and it could be the majority of your input, in my honest opinion. But still, all of these things, keep in mind that you're learning Japanese to actually use it, to actually speak it, make Japanese friends, go to Japan eventually. In my opinion, if you're learning Japanese just to consume more content, to watch anime without any subtitles, that's pretty fucking gay. Like, you're kind of being a loser if that's your only motivation. Of course, go and do it if you want to consume content, if that's your biggest aspiration. But my channel is more for the people that, yeah, alright, they like anime, they like Japanese overall, but they really want to use it in real life to make friends, improve their social skills, improve their game with women, just speaking to people and improving your communication skills, and not just being shut in all day doing Anki and watching hentai or some other shit like that. The last thing I want to kind of tell you is the passive immersion thing that I told you, right? So don't really do that much active immersion. Maybe do like an hour a day. It's fine if you don't stream content that much. Just really do passive immersion whenever you can, and maybe bump that up to 2, 3 hours a day of listening. Bro, if you spend like a couple hours a day in front of a screen anyways, like watching bullshit on YouTube, then bro, just switch it to Japanese. If you're spending time consuming all day anyways, just do active immersion, because it's still a lot more effective than passive immersion. Because yeah, you have the visual component, you're still more focused, so I still do active immersion quite a lot, but I definitely want to incorporate a lot more of really healthy, kind of not loser alternatives in my day-to-day life. And if you want to learn Japanese exactly how I do it, and while doing so, that my one-on-one help, kind of me personally guiding you through the whole process. Like I told you in my little Japanese intro, the first link in the description is my Japanese IQ community, where I do exactly that. There's a bunch of like courses, guides, and just me helping you, kind of coaching you through the process is the biggest advantage of this program or community, however you want to call it. So go and give it a look right now. If you've watched so far into this video, it's kind of a perfect program for you, the perfect course or whatever that you could buy for your improvement of your Japanese, right? And if you want to learn more about how to actually go a level higher, and if you're actually having a trip to Japan soon and you want to speak to Japanese people, go and watch this video right now where I explain how to approach Japanese people, make friends, and be social in Japan. Thank you for watching, and see ya!